The Children of the Torch is a Chinese cult rooted in ancient Shang dynasty culture, worshipping the sun, fire, and a group of gods known as the Golden Crows, or 1428. God damn, why did I say crow? It's
It does say golden crows.
yeah, but I mispronounced crow.
Also got a bonk the chew again.
Yes. The mythical Shang dynasty is what came before and it was destroyed by one of the Golden Crows. Appears in these SCPs. So, we should probably see what the group of gods are. Because they actually give us the SCP.
Yeah. If they're just a group of people as a whole, then it needs to be put in a different category.
Well, I think it would be considered like the because we do have other cults that we ranked.
I said culture,
Oh,
as in like a group of people.
right, all right, and it's a Keter. All right, SCP-1428-1 is a creature that superficially resembles Corvus macrorhynchos. It doesn't even say the original creature is. So, it's
Wait,
Right.
what?
It's literally what
I'm talking
right? Go back to what the cult's name is.
about Children of the Torch is a cult. The Children of the Torch is a Chinese cult.
Gods known as the Golden Crows.
Right?
Now, what do you think Corvus means?
Bird?
No, it is a type of bird. It is the term for corvids, which includes ravens, crows, and magpies. Now, Bright, given context clues, what do you think that Corvus blah 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 means?
Crow?
Yes.
very specifically, it's the large-billed crow.
Oh.
Anyways, it is tripedal and does not possess a cloaca.
So, one of these crows, but with a third leg.
Well, yeah,
And no cloaca.
yeah. The third
Well,
leg
you
is.
can't see the cloaca or lack of it anyway. I mean, I don't know where it would poop, but I guess gods don't need to poop.
The third leg has been observed to remain tucked up under its body unless it enters an active state. It does not need to eat, sleep, or breathe, and does not age and suffers no physically adverse effects from prolonged exposure to extremely high temperatures. Footnote 1. No limit to this ability has yet been found. It has been observed to withstand temperatures of an excess of 1 million degrees centigrade.
Were they trying to kill the god bird?
Maybe. Or radiation. 1428-1 has never been observed to communicate and its intelligence is unclear. Dash 1 has 3 states: inert, passive, and active. While inert, it demonstrates no anomalies other than those previously stated. Passive states are marked with gamma radiation emission at varying intensity. There is no clear consistency in the charge of radiation over time, generally ranging from 5 to 90 W/m squared, but occasionally reaching levels of 150 W/m squared. The energy ranges from 1 to 1.5 MeV. I have no idea what that is. I'll be honest.
Also, m squared is meters squared.
Well, I know that. I just don't know what MeV is.
It's so. I think V might be velocity. Let me. Here, I can look it up. MeV.
Maximal extractable value.
Okay, Matt. Okay, so that's like the. Okay, so that's pretty much supposed to be like how much energy is like actually getting released or
Yeah.
whatever.
Megavoltage radiation emits protons with an average score energy greater than 1 million electron volts, 1 MeV. So in the context of radiation, MeV means million electron volts.
Okay,
Damn.
million electron volts. Okay.
So 1 to 1.5 MeV means 1 to 1.5 million
Million.
electron
Okay.
volts.
Damn, that's a lot of volts.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Alright. During an active state, -1 will produce plasma and thermal energy consistent with the solar corona, coupled with a burst of gamma radiation and exponentially increased intensity. Recorded charges have been as high as 340 W/m squared, with 20 MeV, while the thermal effects of an active state persist only for an instant and are confirmed to the immediate vicinity of -1. The sheer magnitude of the release invariably results in catastrophic damage. Following an active state, -1 will begin to emit aurora bands consistent with solar radiation. These bands appear to induce a compulsive effect in human observers, causing them to attempt to approach the source of the aurora. Individuals under the influence of this effect are completely unresponsive to external stimuli and will perform no action other than approaching the aurora. The bands persist for approximately 1 full day after the active state has ended. While -1 is in a passive state, it will enter active states once every 3 months, median, unless exposed to external combustion at an intensity of approximately 400 degrees centigrade or greater, which will cause it to become inert. While physical contact with -1 is possible, any attempt to physically harm it other than incineration will result in an active state. (1428-2) is a temple or shrine located in the redacted province of China, approximately redacted kilometers north to northwest of the site where -1 was discovered. The site was constructed in approximately redacted BCE and contains religious texts and iconography inconsistent with the region. The most significant of these inconsistencies are a ritualistic form of human immolation and presence of an entity known as redacted. This entity is a 3-armed humanoid and is featured in numerous designs throughout the site, and the majority of these designs depict what appears to be -1 perched on the entity's shoulder.
Is the third arm on the right side or the left side or the front side or the back side?
It does not say.
It dangles from the forehead.
Don't say that. That wouldn't be accurate.
A 0.5 meter by 1.5 meter by 0.5 meter jade statue of Redacted is located at the approximate center of the site, and the entity holds an object in each of its hands: the Earth, the Sun, and a partially burnt data expunged. Upon discovery, roughly 78% of its flesh was burnt, and currently percentage is closer to 69%. This is genuine instead of being constructed of jade and shows no signs of decomposition despite being at least redacted years old. Additionally, while biologically dead, it generates a temperature of 30 degrees centigrade and has been observed to make subtle movements and will occasionally fixate upon individuals that enter its range of sight and open its mouth as though trying to speak. After analyzing several texts recovered from the site and considerable testing, it is confirmed that human immolation in -2's vicinity will effectively cause -1 to skip its next active state. If immolation occurs, the data expunged will begin to gesticulate as though silently laughing, and the burnt tissue on its being will regenerate at a rate proportional to the number of individuals killed by the procedure. Oh, immolation is a form of killing.
Yes.
I did
Yeah,
not know what
it's like-
immolation meant.
Immolation is like you set them on fire.
Oh.
Yes.
I think immolation just means self-harm.
No, this is immolation means to set something on fire.
Oh,
So like, I think I know why you got that, Jerry, because there was
oh, there's a similar term. Okay.
like, so the reason why
A
you thought
similar
that was
sounding
because
term.
there was somebody semi recently, well, I guess, yeah, about a year ago, I think, who it's not funny, but
Gotcha.
about who self-immolated. He self-immolated for Palestine, right? Protesting Palestine, right? Well, like, yeah, protesting for Palestine. I mean, right?
All right,
I
let me
think that's
finish.
what you might have heard it from the latest. Right?
Gotcha. All right.
I
Let's
can't
start.
remember when.
Go ahead and finish it. And then report to 20-001, contingency Saying-A, intensity of incineration on -1 is to be increased to 800 degrees centigrade. If -1 does not revert to an inert state within 30 seconds, one Class D personnel housed at -2 shall be emulated. Subsequent personnel may be emulated as necessary. Oh my god! Well, damn! Addendum 1428-002. Unredacted, the object in the statue's third hand modified its orientation of its own accord and began to fixate upon the approximate location of Area 108. Its position has not shifted since the incident, and no other anomalies have been reported. Document 1428-A5, Emergency Containment Review, redacted. In recording 8:45 a.m. redacted. Hey Jerry, do you want to read for Dr. Adler?
All right.
Because isn't Adler a former snake?
Yes, it is. All right, the snake will read the snake. All right. This is Dr. Redacted Adler, presiding over the emergency meeting regarding SCP-1428 on Redacted at 8:45 a.m.
We need to amend Fusang-A.
What do you mean?
I've just been meeting with the anthropologist and -2. We need to stop burning D-Class.
We've been over this, Redacted.
No, listen to me, Redacted. The crow is not the real problem.
Seems like a pretty big problem.
There's a reason why it hardly responds to anything we do. It's effectively on autopilot.
Autopilot?
As long as Redacted is dead, or asleep, or whatever, there's nothing to give it directions. So it just flies around and leaks radiation everywhere.
And the active states?
That's part of a ceremony. The followers of Redacted could survive the radiation.
Well, this is all terribly interesting, but I'm not sure how that...
When we start burning people at the temple, the crow senses it as a similar type of ceremony, so it doesn't enter an active state. But burning people in that place has a completely separate consequence. If we let that thing finish regenerating, it will attempt to contact the sun, which is where the crow supposedly came from and where Redacted currently is.
What will it say?
I don't know. The designs were so eroded, so we can only translate one word from the message.
Which is?
Breathe.
Doesn't sound friendly.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Okay, so that would be... That's the Golden Crows. Alright. Alright, we'll put in a vote between you three. Do we want to look at 2814, 2995, 2481, or 2487?
I'd say we just go left to right if we're gonna do them all or whatever.
Alright.
Whee!
It just says you can't block me from having ANSI modes. Yes, we can. Okay, so this is a safe class anomaly.
Also, yeah, it does sound like it's rather than a group of people, it is a religion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in its description, it's Children of Torch's Chinese cult, so I think it was original.
Well, yeah, but it also sounded briefly like a people too, so.
Yeah. Alright. SCP-2814 is a ceremonial mask constructed of chitin. God damn it. I meant to say chitin, but I said chitin. God damn it.
It is a Z, not an X.
That's true.
Would you like to see what Ziton wood looks like?
Sure. Ziton wood with fragments of Jediite.
Ah. Sorry, I accidentally clicked on the picture instead of copying the picture. That is that wood.
That looks nice. Probably expensive, but nice.
It's an altar table from the Qing dynasty. 18th to early 19th century. That belongs in a museum. Is that in a museum? No, it's not. God damn it. It was sold to some rich asshole.
No shit. Its dimensions are 24 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and it is largely dark brown in color. Extending from the rear of the mask are 4 strands of silk, each 83 centimeters in length, and dyed a dark red. The composition of this dye is currently unknown. Prior to its current containment status, 2814 was on display at the Redacted Cultural Museum, from which it was stolen in 2005, probably by British people. Anyways.
I mean, it's probably right, but it's not right.
I'm sorry. The culprits now confirmed to be the members of Children of the Torch, a Chinese occultist group. Thank you, footnote. Were apprehended by the Foundation in 2008. Presently, it is believed that the fatalities produced by 2814, while in the group's possession, total at 108. 2814's anomalous effects become apparent whenever it is worn by a human being. It should be noted that 2814 suffers no damage from exposure to heat and flames up to 5,000 degrees centigrade, and -1 shares these properties while the mask is being worn. -1 is capable of interacting with fire as if it was comprised of static matter, rather than being a chemical reaction of matter. It can manipulate fire into forms that resemble solids and liquids, and can do so without touching it directly. The maximum observed range of effect is roughly 20 meters. Normal substances that make contact with the anomalous flames are ignited like normal fire, but the flames produced can also be manipulated by -1. -1 can modify the temperature of flames under its control and may touch or hold the fire with no detrimental effects. While wearing 2418 for extended periods of time does not adversely affect the wearer, observing the mask's thermal properties repeatedly constitutes a degenerative psychological effect. Subject expresses profound curiosity to test the limitations of the max properties and will progressively lose their previous ethical and moral standards. So eventually, it just makes you an arsonist.
Well, arsonists can still have ethical and moral standards.
Yeah, this is not really quite arsonist.
I was also kind of thinking the entire time I was reading this, so this just makes you a firebender.
No.
Well, I mean, it basically does to a certain degree, just
Well,
without the
it
ability
just makes
to
you into Fire
spontaneously-
Lord Swoopson.
Well, a firebender can still get hurt by their own fire, so it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. It makes it basically makes them a firebender, but without the main drawback of being a firebender.
Yeah.
I think it's more accurate to say if a firebender was on a lot of cocaine.
And was Firelord Sosen.
So
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna say, so far, it looks like this group used it to kill people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, I only say cocaine because that's something that gets people to not notice pain, and they tend to go all crazy
Yeah.
and basically act like they're invincible, and until they're
Alright, I'm gonna read the two addendums because they do give some more information on the group. Alright. Addendum 2418-001. During recovery of 2418, all members of the Children of the Torch that were encountered, totaling 5, committed suicide. One member, identified as redacted, left a note evidently intended for the recovery team. Originally written in Chinese, here is a translation of that note. I don't know who you are or what you think you understand, just listen to me. Destroy the mask, don't put it on or try to do anything with it, just kill it. Burning it won't work. You must data expunged. Yes, I helped steal it. Yes, I participated in all those killings, but that's the extent of what you know. You don't know what I've seen, what happened when our leader put it on, or what would have happened if I hadn't forced it off him. We love our radiant father, but we cannot resurrect him like this, not by the means of the heretic. Addendum 2814-002, it was determined by Dr. Jack Garland, an anthropologist of Chinese culture and mythology, that 2814 was crafted in Redacted PCE by Redacted, who is associated with the same extinct religious group upon which Children of the Torch practices are based. Redacted is believed to have maintained tenuous and frequent hostile relations with other members of the group. Dr. Garland is given considerable experience with the Children of the Torch artifacts, as was allocated supervision of 2814's evaluation and experimentation. Okay, so...
Wait. There's a, for details, please see here.
Oh yeah, this... I guess this is... yeah, this is the entry of Dr. Garland. You wanna go... Should we read this, or do we need to see another SCP for the group?
I feel like it would be advantageous to read this information.
Alright.
Although the first part of the entry one is literally just saying how much they've been trying to find that object.
Anyways, entry 1. Children of the Torch has been busy. After 3 years of grasping at straws, I finally have the damn thing in my hands. I find myself somewhat disappointed. It is crude and mundane, maybe because it's illegitimate. It was crafted by Redacted after all. It passed the incinerator test, so I guess it at least qualifies as one of their artifacts. I should probably be grateful it's been 3 years of nothing, and this gets delivered directly into my lap. Anyway, on to business. I've pretty much established that aside from not being able to light it on fire, the mask doesn't do anything until it's put on. Obviously, strapping an ancient magical relic onto to my face isn't the brightest of ideas, but the D-classes we made wear it are fine, and we won't make any more progress until someone puts it on. That someone might as well be me, and it's only one other person with the qualifications, and I don't want Albert to take this risk. He at least still has a family.
Well, why are you trying to put it on? They told you not to put it on.
Well, the ego of a scientist can be astonishing, especially when they feel so close to the answers they want.
Yeah.
And I don't know what gender this person is besides stupid, but
Yeah.
they are gendered stupid right now until we find out.
I identify as dumb.
Yeah. Entry 2. This certainly is intriguing. I did catch a glimpse of the Max's powers when the D-class wore it, but I had no idea the effect was this intricate. I hooked up a Bunsen burner for the first few tests, and when I put my hand over the flame, it collapsed in my hand like a puddle of water. It was warm, not hot, just warm. And it really felt like I was holding water. I slowly drained the liquid flame from my right hand onto my left, and then back to my right. Nothing spilled, at least until I thought that it logically should spill, then it did. The floor caught fire. Instantly, I reached down and scooped the flame back up into my hands, and thought that it would be easier to hold onto if it were solid. It became solid. I was holding a ball made out of solid flame. I may have given Redacted less credit than he deserved. This is certainly a remarkable toy that he's created. It doesn't seem, however, that the mask can create gaseous fire. When I tried, the ball in my hands shuddered and exploded into a fine mist. Perhaps it's the closest it can get to actual gas. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe he didn't want invisible fire vapor. Maybe it was just too difficult. In any case, realizing that the mist could probably light the entire room on fire, I gathered it back in my hands and returned it to the burner. The tricks it can do are interesting, but I'm failing to see the ritual value to this thing. The cult never just made toys, they always had a greater purpose. I'm hoping that it will reveal its secrets under more specific circumstances. I'll conduct some routine human emulation tests tomorrow. Oh, well, okay. Entry 3. I don't understand. 3 subjects offered exactly according to the protocols described and Redacted, and nothing happened. Is this damn thing a dud? Was Redacted just an incompetent fool? No, this mask has something. There's power here. I know it. Why the hell won't it show itself? What am I doing wrong? I spent a decade working on this project. I must figure out how it works. My entire career at the Foundation has been leading to this. I'm not burning them the right way. I must burn them the right way.
Oh no, they're being turned crazy by the mask. They should have never put it on.
Yep. It's believed that the following 2 entries were in after the 3rd testing session, but before destruction of the site. Entry 4. Let burn the warmth swim. Entry 5. The entry consists of 3 consecutive pages of inane text, often written over itself. The phrase, "the third eye burns as it looks to the Father," is repeated in several places.
Oh.
It is believed the following 2 entries were written after the destruction of the site, but before the arrival of security forces. Entry 6. The molecules and thoughts of this facility have been liberated, and the bellowing flesh and steel alike return to iridescent heat and to our Father. Only one soul remains, a D-class that I found huddled and quivering in a cell. So young, he arrived here for the crime of liberating himself from his abusive father. Gene. His name is Gene. I will bring him to his true father and complete his liberation.
No! Don't burn the child to... Oh, gosh.
Entry 7. This entry is written entirely to burn marks upon the back of the previous entry. Now the marks were formed so precisely is unclear. Gene and I have become one, our flesh made into light, reverberating with songs of the Father. Constructs burn away. I took his body unto me, and we became lost to the fires of passion. Then our bodies were sublimated, and only the passion remained. We have become the gaseous flame. We are the spiraling fume, outreached to the Father, and we will draw breath from his body once more.
They did the bad touch the child, didn't they?
Maybe.
I don't think that this is talking about a child.
No. In this last one, it said like a kid that killed
He
their
arrived
dad.
here so young. Oh, okay, yeah, so young.
Yeah,
But-
so a kid that killed
Does-
their abusive father.
I think it would be like
Yeah,
more
but-
in their teens, like
I would be
18 or
willing to
so.
Still,
guess-
that's
What?
still bad.
Yeah.
A
Right?
teenager is still a
Hold
child.
on. Let Hatchet speak. The Hatchet's trying to say something.
1, teenager can refer to 18 and 19. 2, are we accepting the idea that the SCP Foundation would make D-class out of juvenile, like, out of children? This is a D-class.
The possibility, possibly.
I simply do not believe that's how they would operate.
Well, probably not. Yeah. Anyways.
Still, that, like, how that said, it's probably, like, it's probably, like, related to, like, SA or something, so. Too.
Maybe.
So,
That much I agree with.
Alright. Yeah. Anyways. Contact with Site-278, Dr. Garland's location was lost at 5:15 a.m. on Redacted 2008. Aerial reconnaissance made contact with the site approximately 4 hours later. Upon discovering the facility has been largely demolished by what was later determined to be the series of explosions. 35 minutes were required to extinguish the flames, after which a closer inspection was instigated, resulting in data expunged. Mobile Task Force Alpha 77, Crook's Appellation, which was specialized to engage electromagnetic/thermal entities, was dispatched to an area following initial losses and successfully terminated the entity. The entity's post-transformation form was indicated by recordings from the on-site area unit. It was autonomous and mobile via levitation, massive flame. Ground units have attested that the flames emitted frequently resembled human faces. 2814 was recovered from the rough location of the entity's disintegration, undamaged and intact. 8 minutes following the entity's termination, multiple astronomical observation stations reported a 2.45% increase in detected solar radiation, lasting 14 minutes and 28 seconds. Standard information suppression protocols were sufficient to prevent public knowledge of this incident. Wait, so the mask affected the sun?
Also, I just looked it up, and they do use miners for some things. Or D-class sometimes.
And that
Okay.
kid was considered a criminal because of what they did to their father.
Fair enough. Hey Jerry, do you want to read Agent Vasquez?
Is all right. I will read Agent Vasquez.
Alright then, interviewer Dr. Brian Albert interviewed Agent Esteban Vasquez. Forward, Agent Vasquez was attacked by the entity at Site-278 and rendered temporarily unconscious by the encounter. Due to the possibility of contamination, Agent Vasquez is classified as an anomaly until further notice. Agent Vasquez, is there anything you would require or would like to say before we commence this interview?
Oh, sorry, I was just looking up very quick just in case we were pronouncing it wrong. Are you gonna kill me?
Not in the foreseeable future. Mr. Advisor has made an injunction to preserve your life on a conditional basis. You are aware of why we have to classify and treat you as a anomalous humanoid.
Oh, I am. Are you?
Honestly, no. I only have the after-action report of what happened to you. This debriefing exists to verify our provisional decision to classify you as anonymous.
So you have to give testimony supporting your decision to treat me as an SCIP?
Frankly, yes. So we can't rule out the possibility that you will turn into something like Garland. Look, Jack Garland was my friend. I've known him for 10 years. We looked on the Children of the Torch artifacts. Since the beginning, I need to know what you saw.
I don't remember what happened before I lost consciousness. There was just that thing coming at us and my teammates shouting. Then I woke up in the storm.
Storm?
A vortex, I guess. A tight column of fire. I remember that even as abstract and overwhelming as the place was. I was terrified by how tightly wound it was. Just stretched and agonizing.
A, a vortex of fire.
Well, partly fire. It was also made of voices. I don't mean that there were voices in it. I mean it was made of screaming.
Can you clarify further?
Not really. I could see the voices, not people. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything at all while I was there. It was horribly silent. But I could see the flames and the screaming.
Did you see anything else?
I saw Garland. Saw the D class he killed. I saw my teammates. And I saw the guy who made the mask.
You saw Jack.
I saw their voices.
How do you know if it was the masked creator?
I don't know.
Did they communicate anything to you in one way or another?
No. But I could tell they were all helpless. Even the creator.
Helpless.
I'm sorry.
Did you see or feel anything else?
I saw the voices attack the creator. I don't know if it was verbal or physical. I think both are at the same time there. They called him a heretic. They said something about the father's brothers.
Father's brothers.
I honestly don't know more about what they said.
Do you have anything else to add at all?
I saw stars. One of them, I think, was our sun. But I saw 9 more, and something wrong with all of them, our sun included.
Clarify long, and to the best of your ability at least.
The stars were very dim. The vortex seemed like it was feeding our sun. It was making it brighter. The stars were trying to leech on, I think. They were trying to steal the vortex from our sun. As the other stars got brighter, the screaming got larger, not louder, well, maybe at the same time. I don't know. I don't know anything more.
End log. Update: while Agent Vespa's anomalous status in relation to 2014 has not been fully evaluated, he has been remanded to an undisclosed location for safety. Children of the Torch is aware of Vasquez's interaction with and connection to 2014. A redacted 20 redacted. A letter of no return address arrived at Vasquez's most recent residence. The only thing contained in the letter was Children of the Torch's insignia, a 3-legged crow known as Yang Wu or Jin Wu.
Oh gosh, so that guy's gonna have a very unhappy time for the rest of his life.
So basically, the Children of the Torch so far seems to be very hostile.
They basically want to burn people to heal the sun.
Do we need to, like, see another anomaly, or are we good?
I'm good, Hatchet.
I think I'm good.
Alright. Alright, so where do we put...
Also, in
Huh?
I was just gonna say, also in looking it up, There are obviously instances of the
Mhm.
SCP Foundation using kids,
Mhm.
but I can find next to no examples of said kids being specifically referred to as D class.
Okay.
Ah,
It,
I feel like it's a possible. I think it's a somewhat reasonable interpretation. I would just be more inclined to assume that the person is like 18.
gotcha.
Honestly, uh,
Because,
I'm
in fact, let's put it this way. Think about it for a second. The main places that they get D class from are death
like,
row or life sentences. Unless this person is from an abnormally, uh,
they.
shall we say,
So the thing
uh,
is, there are kids who have been put on death row because
well,
Hold on. I think Hitch's not done
historically.
yet. What are you saying, Hitch?
I know that there are kids who have been put on death row, but a single count, like, based upon the description, a single count of murder, generally speaking, would not do that.
Yeah, I
For
gotcha.
someone to get a sentence, generally speaking, off of one count of murder, most of the time you're going to be referring to someone who's at least 18 years old.
They were
Yeah,
probably 18 or a smidgen bit older, but they were called
Yeah.
so young because the researcher was an older person.
yeah,
Yeah.
To someone who's
Also,
50 or 60 or 70, that would be so young.
yeah.
also looking up, that made me,
It's fair.
But
because like, so the Foundation eats babies. That's the thing I found.
Yeah,
Do that.
I believe one of the um procedures, I think it's with the Saturn deer,
Yeah,
is like to keep it at bay, you have to eat a newborn. Yeah.
yep.
Apparently there's like a story that makes it so that it's somewhat less fucked in that they can use like a synthetic newborn.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely sure what that means, but
Like,
either way, yeah.
what I saw from it was like they like were using like they were using a they were doing the basically what is happening to a fucking woman, a poor like dead woman and her family, like here in the U.S. currently.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Also, I was thinking about that, actually, before we get into ranking.
You're uh,
You're cutting out.
you're cutting out a whole bunch.
I hate Discord. Well, I was saying before we get into ranking, I was thinking about the Saturn deer thing. Wonder, for like the fetus part, I wonder if using the clone machine SP2000 or a cloning tree would work. Like the fetus is produced from that.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
that
Then
is.
again, like at the same time, uh, depending on the situation, I feel like the Foundation would err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Because, like, if we know for a fact that it would work, then it might not be worth testing it if it could lead to a XK.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like end of the world or dead baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we putting the Children of the Torch?
What kind of evil are they?
Well, it looks like they're trying to feed the sun to heal the sun.
Yeah, but if they do that, one, that would destroy the planet, and two, they're killing people to do that.
Yeah.
At first, I was thinking incompetent good, in the sense
But
that they're trying to do something good, but
with
in
the
so
mass
doing,
murder.
they're doing some incredible
We don't
awful
necessarily
shit.
know if they're doing something good.
fair enough.
I mean, like, at the very least from their perspective, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't
like,
know
Yeah.
what. From their perspective, it is good.
Yeah,
Do we have to put it
yeah.
in incompetent good?
It's
I was going to say possibly incompetent neutral because we don't know either way.
mm. At the same time, if we base if we put things in places based solely on what they think they're doing rather than their actual actions,
Right.
then
I think
like
it's neutral evil.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think I could go with that.
Yeah.
Because, like, for
Yeah.
instance, like, the problem with basing, like, whether or not it's an incompetent good
Mm-hmm.
or in the evil somewhere, based solely on, like, them thinking they're doing the right thing, a very large portion of the lawful and neutral evils would end up spontaneously going into incompetent good.
So,
I don't really think it's an incompetent good, although the thought briefly hit me.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
because we don't actually know if they think they're doing what's good for the planet. They might be thinking, "Oh, we all belong to the sun. We all deserve to burn."
Yeah,
That would
Yeah.
actually be their motto.
I think what I'm going to, like, kind of put as my litmus test on it is whether or not in trying to do their, like, good thing, they are doing good actions if misguided. So, like, the children of the broken god, like, they're an incompetent good, partially because they're trying to bring back a god that doesn't want to be brought back because it could be catastrophic, but
Yeah.
also because, like, they do some good actions.
Yeah, like dealing with 610 itself. They know how to cure the infection.
Yeah, they've
You're
even helped the
cutting out a bunch.
Foundation against 610, right?
Yeah.